Hey everyone, this is Kailin Noivo, host of the Ecommerce Toolbox. One of the things I love most about hosting this show is how much I get to learn just by having these conversations. Every episode, I'm talking to founders, operators, and product leaders who are actually in the weeds, building, scaling, and figuring out what really works in e-commerce. We cover everything from replatforming and personalization to AI, B2B growth, and customer experience, and every conversation adds a new tool to the toolbox. Let's take a look back at some of the standout moments and insights from those conversations, the experts we've learned from, the brands we've featured, and the ideas shaping where e-commerce is headed next. Let's get into it. First up, we hear from Nate Kennedy, who served as former VP of Global Brand Marketing at Horizon Hobby. Here's a surprising lessons in customer acquisition and why trying too hard to sign people up can sometimes backfire. How you went about acquiring customers? Was it organic? Was it paid? How did you look at customer acquisition and what were the stickiest customers?
One of the things that we identified is that we were including enrollment in transactions, and they almost had to opt out to not be enrolled in our loyalty club. And what we found is that when we asked them, hey, did you know you were part of our loyalty club? 90% of the people who had been there less than 2 times didn't know that they were a part of our loyalty clubs. By trying so aggressively to get them on the list, we were doing ourselves a disservice because they didn't know they were involved in it.
I sat down with Feliz Papich and we learned how Crocs changed their game. Let's dive into what it takes to handle massive traffic spikes, including celebrity collaborations, and the unexpected challenges that come from bots, not customers. Talk to us a bit about some of the learnings from the Justin Bieber collaboration. I know it created some potential, there were spikes in traffic, maybe some stability issues.
I think what we did is, to be honest, during that time frame, we did a ton of experimentation. We brought to market a bunch of different tools. We tried to find the best way to make this fair for the consumer, make sure our site could handle the volume that was coming in. So we had a lot to learn there. We had to bring in platforms that mitigated bot traffic. So that was kind of the big one, honestly, is that it's not necessarily consumer themselves that drive instability when these collections launch. It's very much the bot traffic that comes in. So we brought in some tools to obviously mitigate, handle that. We leverage them today. And it's really important, even honestly, from like a security standpoint.
This year, we learned AI is changing everything in retail. Here's how Sienne Veit, founder and CPO at Invisible Stuff, dives into the future of product management in an AI-driven world. She explains how automation is transforming experimentation. What does the modern product manager look like after kind of fully scaled AI?
There will be lots of automation. So if you think about what we're currently able to do in terms of multivariate and A/B testing and experimentation, we're limited by our ability to manage data, to run thousands of tests at any degree of significance, and to have creative that can fulfill deep personalization of all the variations.
Next, we hear from Jack Farrell, VP of e-commerce at PopSockets. A fantastic conversation on how PopSockets evolved from a DTC viral hit into a diversified lifestyle brand. Here's how Jack Farrell talks about the strength of brand recognition and how focusing on your brand can unlock huge opportunities. Maybe talk us through how you guys position the business in a bit more broad, because it sounds like you had to make that single product to multi-product pivot.
PopSockets is the category. We get 10 times more branded search than we get category search, meaning PopSockets versus phone grip. A lot of times people say, is that a blessing or a curse? I'm like, sign me up. Explain to me where the curse is there when people are searching you out by name. That's strength, and we've got to capitalize on that and extract value from that. Our job is now to capitalize on that. And again, we're searched 10 times more by brand than by product category. And that equates to like 66 million times a year on Amazon. People are searching for PopSockets. That's truly wild.
If you're listening to the e-commerce toolbox, you're entitled to a podcast exclusive website audit. Go to noibu.com/podcast-audit for a free scan that uncovers the hidden friction blocking your conversions and shows you where you're leaking revenue.
How do you balance the need for agility with the pressure to offer more features? Travis Hess shares why, in the commerce space, business outcomes matter far more than a checklist of functions. How have you thought about balancing flexibility with making sure that you don't need a PhD to operate the system?
I would say on that spectrum, we're right of center. We're more towards the commerce tools model versus the monolith. I don't think we want to be a monolith. We also don't have the R&D and the capital to compete against a Shopify who's throwing off however many billions a year in R&D. I'm surrendering the fact that I don't think this is a feature and function arms race that anyone's going to win. I don't think the market wants features and functions. If they did, they would still buy legacy because it's far more feature rich than anything new today. I think what they want is business outcome and they want agility.
What are the hidden issues quietly killing your e-commerce performance? And how can heritage brands modernize their platforms without sacrificing reliability, speed, or customer experience? These are some topics we covered with Matt Ezyk, Senior Director of Engineering at Hanna Andersson. Here he breaks down where AI actually adds value and why clean data and a strong baseline are essential before introducing any new tools. Where have you seen AI useful, whether it's within your team as an operational tool or for your actual digital experience?
I think there's a few things you need to have clean, connected customer data, right? And lots of brands struggle with that. It's not easy. It's a very difficult thing to have clean data. But if you're not at a point where you have that, it's really challenging to bring in AI tools because you're training them on your data. And that's a discipline that I've really helped build here at Hanna, where everything we do is rooted in site performance. And lastly, like AI, as we know, it's a very big buzzword. You know, I can't wake up 1 second without going online and seeing someone talking about AI, but it's got to solve a clear business problem, right? If you're missing that, it's just a distraction. It's not a solution.
Next up, I asked Brit Tucker, VP of Product Technology and CX at Society6, how brands are rethinking influencer partnerships and why one-to-one relationships matter more than ever. What are some of the shifts you've seen this year in the e-com space or maybe in the creator economy more broadly?
The creator economy is like huge right now. The amount of conversations that are happening in boardrooms and at the leadership table related to influencer partnerships and strategy is exploded in a way I haven't seen, in my past. I think brands are really thinking about how they can try to leverage more of that one-to-one relationship because that's what the customer's really striving for. They don't necessarily want to just hear from a brand touting, how great they are and all the products they sell.
Lastly, we circle back to this great episode with Jacky Lambert, Director of E-commerce at Your Surprise, where we really touched upon his approach to personalization and how AI can help, but never replace the human connection. Maybe talk to us some of your tactics on how you've been able to chase growth and some of the things that you've seen work well.
One very important thing as well is the team approach. So what I've seen is that also almost every company, teams are used to some kind of way of working in the company. And they're almost stuck into that, a bit blindfolded for the new things, the new challenges, maybe scary to change some things. Look carefully into your team. What contribution do they bring? What's the added value per person? And are they really developing within their role? And not only as a person, but with the commercial tactics they use. My principle is always test small. If successful, great, scale up.
These conversations are just a glimpse into the incredible insights we've gathered over the past year. From experimentation and AI to brand strategy and customer experience, there's so much to learn from the people shaping e-commerce today. Stick around, we've got plenty more episodes and insights coming your way this year.
The e-commerce toolbox Expert Perspectives is brought to you by Noivo. To find out more about Noivo and how we can help you debug your e-commerce site and rocket your revenue, visit www.noivo.com. That's Noibu.com. And then make sure to search for the e-commerce toolbox Expert Perspectives on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else podcasts are found, and click subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at Noivo, thanks for listening.